Howdy, welcome back to SlydeBytes. Just a fun little playing intro there. If you're not familiar with the channel, this is a budget guitar and gear review channel. All the equipment you see on this channel is my own. Nothing is provided to me by any companies or anything like that. It's all just my own gear that I've picked up over the years, and yeah, I just like to review it and talk about it on the channel because, you know, if I have a big collection, I might as well share some information and see if I can help some people out, maybe help them make some gear decisions too, and find good gear on a budget, because that's what this is all about. This is going to be all about my top 5 favorite budget guitar brands. Now, I'm just going to say right off the bat, this is my own personal preference. This does not mean these are the best. I'm not saying these are the absolute best of all of them. I'm saying these are my personal favorite top 5 budget guitar brands. And I just want to say right off the bat, please forgive me, because Harley Benton, Firefly, West Creek, they're not on this list because I've never actually managed to find any to touch, to hold, to play. I have seen Harley Bentons out in the wild in my area, but they were the older models, and they looked like they had been in the pit at a Slipknot concert for 10 years straight. I don't know what it is about people that buy lower priced guitars, beat the absolute piss out of them, and then sell them to a Guitar Center for whatever reason, when they're probably not going to get that much back out of the investment at that point. But every time I found the Harley Benton in person, it's been absolutely shredded. They're not available anywhere, it's sold at any stores in my location, period. And I mean anywhere in a 50-mile radius. I cannot find them. I'd have to order one online, have it sent, and at that point I usually just end up buying something else. Same with West Creek and Firefly. They're often just sold out whenever I get a chance to have the money to buy them. They're gone, and I end up buying something else. So these are just my picks, and we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. Starting at number 5 is PRS SE. I love PRS SE. In fact, let's go ahead and we'll just play this one for a minute more. I really like this guitar. Let's go neck for just a second. I just want to play something kind of shreddy. Just go. Yeah, I like this guitar a lot. This is my old PRS SE Soapbar 2. I've had this one for a long time. Very basic guitar. I actually got it used for like 300 and something bucks. These used to retail around 500, but you still can get a lot of lower priced PRS SEs out there. I think they're a great budget option. This is actually an older model, so it's even got the set neck and everything. A lot of the newer ones don't have the set neck, so yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I really like this guitar. It's very comfortable to play. It's very fun to play. Very lightweight, even though it's all mahogany. It's just a very high quality instrument. This was built in Korea. I have played some of the newer PRS SEs, and while I'm not as impressed with the newer ones as I am with the older ones, they're still all really great instruments. Usually around, $500 depending on what sales you can get. Sometimes $600. A little bit on the higher end, which is why they're at the bottom of my list, and that's kind of the only reason. They're really solid guitars. I still prefer a set neck over the bolt-ons from PRS, and that's going to be more up to you. But if I want a bolt-on, I'm usually going with something more Fender-esque. But these are still really great guitars. I just played one recently at Guitar Center. I tried one. It's a sandblasted finish. It's a really nice guitar, really cool. And yeah, I think for just what they are, their neck's a little bit typically fatter, the radius is a little bit different than a lot of other instruments. It's a kind of an in-between feel. This is in drop B flat tuning, because I use this to play a lot of Breaking Benjamin covers and things like that. And we are running through my Vox Valvetronics VT20 Plus little, see if you can see it back here. There you go. My Vox Valvetronics VT20 Plus back here. Great amplifier. Really, that is a very sleeper metal amp. So anyway, yeah, this thing is really a great guitar, and I highly recommend them. If you get a chance to check out PRS SE, pick one up. I bet you will be pretty happy with what you find, and if not, hey, that's why we have other options. Stick with me. Alright, so next up is going to be Gyro Ibanez. Now, I do have an caveat here. This is actually an Ibanez RG120, but I'm still going to go ahead and use this to represent the Gyro Ibanez. This was kind of a precursor to the Gyro Ibanez line. This is a very low-priced RG. It was a very experimental kind of thing, and then they kind of just decided not to keep producing these and went full-on on the Gyro series. I do have a Gyro GSR Ibanez bass, though, and I've played a ton of Gyro Ibanez guitars. Always very impressed with them. I think if you are on a budget and you really want a metal shred guitar, or you just really like the aesthetics of the Japanese designed guitars, Ibanez is fantastic. I absolutely highly recommend Ibanez guitars. You just can't really beat them for what they are, especially if you like metal and shred and things like that. They're great for the price. Like, they really, really are. I guess I shouldn't say you can't beat them, because something else did beat them for me. But for a lot of people, Gyro Ibanez, I mean, they're solid. I've never played a Gyro Ibanez that was actually a bad guitar that I didn't like. Maybe your experience has been different, but every one of them I've ever played has been pretty impressive. Really good, really nice necks on them. Fretwork is always really good, in my opinion. I've again never played one that's any fret sprout. They're just good guitars representing, high quality Japanese designs. And again, this thing is an Indonesian made model, and this is an older one. I don't even remember what year I got this. Trying to see, I think probably, it looks like 2011 maybe. So yeah, I've had this for a long time. Again, this is an older model, but Gyro Ibanez is great. Their basses are absolutely phenomenal. I love Gyro Ibanez basses. I have, again, the GSR 205 5-string active bass you've seen here on this channel several times. It's a great instrument. So yeah, definitely check out Gyro Ibanez, because I think if you're a metal guy, you will not regret checking out a Gyro Ibanez. And even if you like other stuff, like bluesy stuff, like this stuff, or this kind of guitar, roll my volume back just a little bit, go middle position. I really like this guitar. I think it's just a phenomenal player. Yeah, definitely check out Gyro Ibanez. Alright, we forgot to mention that last guitar was also in drop B flat. Okay, so next up, I would be remiss if I left this off of the listing. Epiphone. This is an older Epiphone, Les Paul Special, so it's a really old guitar. I got this when I graduated high school for $90. And it's not the best, highest quality guitar, and you got bolt-on Les Paul sort of design on here, but you know what? I still have fond feelings for this guitar. It's got a fantastic neck on it, satin finish all over, and you can kind of see like where my arm is played on it for the over the years and everything. It's actually a pretty fun guitar. It's in double drop D, pretty close to standard tuning. You just gotta drop your high and low E's to D. I really like this instrument. It's a very fast-playing guitar. I've had it for years. It's been overall pretty reliable. Every now and then you kind of got to wiggle the selector switch now to kind of get the pickups to not crack a little to start off with, to get the full power out and kind of give it a little bit of a nice, even whack on there to get it to really sort of like, this thing is old, and I've never taken any of this stuff up open, or I've never opened any of it up and cleaned it or anything, so it probably has some dust everywhere in there. So it probably needs some maintenance, but again, I've had it for a long time, and it sounds good. It's a really fun guitar to play. Epiphone has been making quality products for a long time. I've had bad run-ins with Epiphone acoustic guitars, But overall, I think like every time I pick up an Epiphone electric guitar, they're pretty good, and I still have a lot of respect for Epiphone. I'm not a huge Gibson fan in general, but Kramer, Epiphone are good in my book. I love them. I have a Kramer over there. I have an Epiphone. I was really torn which one I was going to go with, Kramer or Epiphone, but overall sales volume and everything, it's kind of hard to compare. Epiphone has just absolutely killed it over the years, and this is actually probably a more reliable guitar tuning wise than the Kramer, mainly because it has a fixed bridge, a wraparound bridge. So that really kind of, that was kind of where I was at on it. But I think Kramer, Epiphone, kind of a toss-up for me. I'm just leaning Epiphone just simply because I am aware of how well they have sold, their reputation, and how reliable this thing has overall been considering its age. For a $90 guitar. And again, the fretwork on this has been absolutely friggin' phenomenal. Never had an issue with the fretwork on this guitar. Great instrument. Alright, this is where it really got hard for me to pick. My number 4 spot. So I really was torn here because I have a deep-seated love for 2 brands of lower-priced guitars. And the only reason this ended up at number 2, this is my Jackson JS32 King V, and it is in drop C. The only reason this ended up in number 2 is because I had to basically look at volume and the types of guitars I own, just the volume I own, that is. And I ended up picking, this is my number 2 spot. The Jackson JS series is absolutely killer for the price. I have 3 Jackson JS series guitars. I have a 7-string, this King V, and a 6-string JS22. So basically, 2 JS2s, one is a 7-string and the one is a 6-string, and this JS32 King V with the Jackson licensed Floyd Rose. And then we also, my wife has a Jackson JS1 bass that is also an excellent bass guitar. Overall, I love Jackson. The pickups are always really good on them. They're really hot, really responsive. The fact that this is under $400 typically, and it came with a Floyd Rose, even if it is a licensed one, this has been a really good experience for me. I have come to love Floyd Rose tremolos based on this, but I still prefer a fixed bridge in general. But if I'm going to have a trim, I kind of want one of these. It's pretty awesome. It's honestly been a great experience for me. I love this guitar very deeply. And I honestly love all my Jacksons. Every one of them I play has been great. I love the compound radius necks. Now they do have even cheaper ones that are 12-inch radius, and those are still really good because a 12-inch radius is very comfortable, very fast to play. And I'm actually starting to kind of be torn. I either want a 12-inch straight across radius or I want a compound 12 to 16. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But you got bigger frets on them, hotter pickups. If you're a metal guy, these things are great. In general, I don't have any complaints with Jackson. For the price, anywhere from they have some for like $160 or something like that. And sky's the limit after that. I just think these are great instruments. They play really nice. I have been a fan for a long time, and really. Yeah, so other than my bad playing, this is just a really awesome instrument, guys. I do highly recommend Jackson. If you're on a budget, you're a metal fan, or you just like the way they look. John Mayer plays Jacksons and Charvels here and there. So hey, there you go. They're great instruments. They're very versatile. They sound great. I highly recommend the Jackson JS series. Alright, forget my bad playing there, but yeah, I'm just having fun at this point. Guys, this should be no surprise to you. If you watch this channel for very long, you know I am a huge fan of Fender and therefore Squier. I have more Squier budget guitars than any other in my whole collection. This is my contemporary active Jassmaster from Squier and double drop B tuning. I use this guitar as one of my mains. I probably have 5 or 6 main guitars I gravitate to. I adore this instrument. I think these sell anywhere from probably around $4 to $5, maybe a little less, maybe a little over $4, depending where you go for them. This is an older model. I love this guitar. This one has a little bit of finish chipping in it from who only knows because I buy it used, but I usually don't buy used guitars, but I really like this instrument. This thing is a fantastic player, 12-inch radius all across here, and it's just a fantastic feeling guitar to play. Active pickups are from Squier. They sound great. This is just an awesome instrument. I started my journey on a Squier electric guitar, that one right there. And I actually use this Squier Strat right here and drop A for a lot of my own personal music that I write on my Instagram and post. This is just an HSS bullet Strat. I have another bullet Strat back here behind me. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. You can kind of probably see the neck right there. That one's in drop C. I use or just C sharp. I kind of go back and forth with that one, play a ton of stuff. That one's all single coil guitar. I have a Telecaster in there. I have a P bass back here from Squier, the debut series. Every single Squier, I'm sure I have probably another one somewhere. I can't remember now. But anyway, every Squier I have ever played has been great. You might have some fret sprout on them. If you're like paying $200 or less on a guitar, sometimes you're going to get that. But in general, they have been really good and really reliable to me. I know not everyone's had that experience. I completely understand that. That's why I said this is my list, my personal experience, because I can only tell you based on what I know. My very first electric guitar was a Squier. It's a great instrument. I love it. All of them have been overall pretty good. These days, Squier is up there with any of the other budget brands, and they just, by volume, they sell so many. Again, so many of us start our journey on Squier, and whether or not you love those guitars, that's all personal preference. But for me, every Squier I play, I love the 9 to 5 radius on them, and the Bullet series is nice and light, but kind of compact against the body. I enjoy the way they play. I enjoy the way they feel. If you like that look and everything, I like the classic Strat look. Or the classic Jazz or Tele look. I like all those very classic Fender designs, so for me those really stand out, and if you're that kind of player, I really think you'd enjoy these Squiers in general. Especially newer Squiers are really good compared to where they used to be, and I will just leave it at that. I know old ones were not as great. New ones tend to be pretty good. Even the newer debut series on Amazon, which are like $130, my experience has been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with all of it. So in general, you may not get the highest quality guitar with Squier, but they tend to be a pretty reliable instrument that works. Yeah, that's really all I can say about it, because they just tend to be good guitars overall. They're solid beginner guitars, or like this one. This one is so good. Like, I'd play this out. I would 100% gig it out. I would gig both these Strats, all three of these Strats out. Honestly, there's not a single Squier I wouldn't be willing to play out in public. I love them. I think all mine have been really good. Maybe yours is Epiphone. Maybe yours is Jackson. Maybe yours is LTD, which didn't make the list. Honorable mention though, LTD has a lot of fantastic instruments. Schecter has a lot of fantastic instruments in the under $400 price range, or under $500 too. But in general, these are my top 5 favorite budget brands, the ones that really have stood out to me as just being really good for the money. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what your favorite list is. Tell me your top 5 favorite brands. This isn't something I'm meaning to be controversial. This is, again, just me sharing my opinions. Maybe you can try some of these out in person. That's what I definitely recommend. If you can, try these out in person, play them, find friends, go to the guitar shop, handle them first before you make any solid decisions on anything. But tell me what your favorites are, and we can talk about it in the comments section. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you so much. All of you keep coming back, all my new viewers. You mean the world to me. It really does just mean the world to me that you're here. If you like what I'm doing and you feel like I earned it, you might consider dropping a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, because it does help this little budget guitar channel grow, and I'm trying to grow it. Yeah. If you guys like the way I play, you like any of the background music, you might check me out on Instagram and TikTok. That's where I post the majority of my original guitar content, where I write my own music and post it. Also, I do a lot of Gundam stuff. I'm also on X and SoundCloud, not as active on those, but I am on there. So if you see me, stop by, say hi. Yeah, and otherwise, guys, I think that's all I've got for you for this week. Yeah, stay tuned. Always more is in the works. Probably in another week. Maybe we'll do budget guitar amplifiers. That sounds fun, because I have some opinions on my favorite budget guitar amp brands too, or at least maybe my favorite, just 5 favorite brands in general. We might do that. Stay tuned. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. I will see you here as soon as possible with another video. Keep shredding, partners. Appreciate all of you. Be kind to each other. Be kind to animals. I will see you soon.